guys, check out my new book. It's called Dear Bully, It's Me from the Grave by Cordelia Roman. It is on Amazon. Go get it. Hey guys, welcome to Big Sister. I hope you guys are doing well today. I don't know what your plans are for the day, the evening, the month. How are y'all feeling? You know, some people like this time of year, and there's a lot of other people that don't. For some, it brings sadness. It makes them feel lonely. For some, it brings a lot of joy because this is a time that you're going to go home. You're going to see your family and your friends. And maybe you have someone that's coming in from out of town to see you, or you're going to see someone. Maybe you take this time of year to go on trips and to explore things or to go out on missions. But most of the times I do find that it is a sad time for people, and you can't escape it because you're going out and you hear the Christmas music playing, and it's almost as if on cue there are these things you're supposed to be doing. It's time to put up decorations on the tree. It's time to do all these different things, and there's a quota you're supposed to buy some. Even when you're at work, right? They do, who's going to be a part of the Secret Santa? And you're like, I don't want to do this. You got to do the potluck. Are you bringing something? So it's really a lot going on. And, I'm going to do a video that's going to talk about that and help to ease you through it. For those of you that's going through that, it may be a time of loneliness for different reasons. But I want to talk about this thing to help people out, because relationships and losing a relationship or not being in one is one of the reasons why a lot of people have a lot of trouble. And so I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to the men today. Women, you can listen. I got something for the ladies coming up. And we're going to talk to you about some things that you should not do. I did a video prior about that, and I'm going to talk about it again. And why am I talking to the guys? Is it that I hate women? No. But I feel like there are not enough advocates for men. Yes, a man could get out there and talk about things. There are platforms and videos with men encouraging other men and young boys and teens. And I think that's really good. But at the same time, no one can accuse me of being what would they say? A misogynistic male trying to keep women in the kitchen, because I'm a female. Now, what they may do is try to call me a pick-me-sha and these other things. And that's just a classic behavior that certain women will do to try to deflect. Women will try to shame you and guilt you and make you feel bad. Like being mean girls. Women are good. Certain women are good at being mean girls. Before women started dating, before we started going out, we had to deal with each other first. And I can tell you unequivocally, and girls, women, you know this, that our first bullies and our worst bullies was not any boy, but the girls. The mean stuff. They know how to play that game. We understand it. You know what it's like to have that boss at work that is a female who is mean, who's vindictive. You know how she can play those games when she has it out for you and can make it seem as if she's not doing anything to you while doing a lot of psychological warfare. So imagine a male who's not even operating like that, because men are usually just say what they need to say, and sometimes they don't even. They just move along. When you have a female who's behaving this here and spinning this, behaving in this manner and spinning circles all around this man, he's not going to have a chance. And so what I try to do is try to help you guys to understand a few things. Now, if you have broken up with somebody who has been mistreating you, haven't treated you right, then leave her alone. Don't let the holiday season, don't let her high pull you back in, because she don't care anything about you. She may want a gift. She may want a present. She may want something from you. You have to learn to believe what you see. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret that no woman wants a weak man. No woman wants a weak man. Now, what does that mean? It does not mean that you need to be a disrespectful, antagonistic dude, belligerent, yelling, screaming, downing women. No. But you need to understand that you simply need to have boundaries as a young gentleman, as a young teen boy, and coming up. Because while certain women will date you, they're going to take advantage of you. While they will date you, they're going to take you for granted because it is unattractive to them for you to be that mean. It's unattractive to her that she can tell you off and say any old thing to you, and you're still going to be there. That you're going to come groveling back to her regardless of whatever she says to you. Yeah. No woman wants what she's going to call a weak man. If you don't have boundaries, if you don't have any self-respect, if you allow her to disrespect you, if you allow her to continue to push the boundaries with you, talk down to you, snatch things out your hand, make jokes at your expense, she can dump you and pick you up whenever she wants to. She can make all these demands from you. You're going to do this for me. You're going to do that, or you're not a real man. How can she tell you what a real man is? Is she a man? She has no idea. No woman can tell you what a real man is because no woman no woman is born a man, and we don't know what it's like to be a man. And I'm pretty certain that we would not want to walk in your shoes because y'all's life is a lot tougher. Even with women who say they want to be men, or they're transitioning, or whatever they may do, they don't completely adapt to life as a man. They don't really go on that. Let's say, in relationships, this is going off a little bit, but when they're in relationships where they are like, it's a lesbian relationship, right? And one of them say they're the guy, and they're bona fide saying they're the guy. Let's talk about, what is her name? Oh, what's her name? I can see her, tall, skinny girl, play basketball, WNBA. Brittany Grimes. Not Grimes, Griner. Brittany Grimes. I remember one time there was an interview and Brittany Grimes corrected the lady when the lady said, "Oh, you're expecting, how does it feel to be a first-time mom?" And she's like, "Dad," right? Well, okay. But let's say, I'm giving Brittany Grimes an example, but there are other people that's like this. Brittany Grimes is not playing in the NBA. Brittany Grimes is not going in the men's locker room, the men's urinals. She's not going to do that. Because it's a whole different world. Women who transition to men, or they're trying that man's life, living as a man, is not easy. For one, they don't want to have any long emotional conversations, stuff like that. So the way they deal with things are going to be different. Also, the way they deal with conflict is going to be different. So what is my point? That when a woman is telling you you're not a real man, what is she talking about? She doesn't know anything about it to be able to throw that out there. All she's going off is perhaps some brute beast she's dated before. And a lot of times the real man she's talking about is someone who has dogged her out before. Someone who had no respect for her feelings and for her thoughts. He did whatever he wanted to do. And why is it that you will find you're the nice guy, but she will have more respect for the one who doesn't do half the stuff that you do and doesn't treat her with respect? Why? Because he set boundaries, whether those boundaries are reasonable or not. He already knows, hey, I'm not taking you out to dinner. I'm just going to lay you out right here. We're going to have a good time. You getting up out my house. She knows better than to act up or to say certain things to him. She knows he's going to ghost her. She knows he's going to walk away. These are all boundaries that he set, though they may be negative. Now, I'm not saying you have to become a person who you're ghosting someone and you're being disrespectful and rude or anything like that. But you have to have boundaries where women realize they can't just treat you any old way. You have to have it within you to say no. You have to not just be looking at how beautiful someone is, how well she can flatter you with her speech, because a lot of times women who are this way, they're going to focus on her. She's going to focus a lot on her outer beauty. She's going to work on her body. She's going to be working on her sex game. She's going to be working on everything she feels like what she needs to do to keep you. She's going to be wearing all kinds of clothes. She's going to have all kinds of layers of makeup on, nails, all of that. The things, and her smell, and those things are all going to be alluring and enchanting to you. But once it gets down to it, you realize her character is very shallow. And so she's going to feel as if she's entitled to everything that you work hard for. She's entitled to get the things that you are striving for. She's entitled to have your house. She's entitled to have your earnings just because she's pretty. She based everything on things that are fleeting and things that will eventually change. Like, lady, your breasts are not always going to be perky. You're not always going to be pretty. I don't care how much plastic surgery you get. You just going to look like someone off of Fraggle Rock or the Muppet Show. Because the more you mess around, especially with your face, your natural, your DNA, your genetics, all that stuff is still going to be at work. It's still underneath the layers trying to come to the surface. And these women are doing everything they can to keep it from happening. And the more Botox and stuff these women are doing, the more plasticky, the more waxy, the more fake they're going to look. My son said to me the other day, he said, Mom, I'm noticing all the women are looking the same. Most women look the same. And I'm saying, what are you talking about? Women don't look the same. He's like, no, the ones that all look like the Kardashians. They all have the same eyebrows and lips and face. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's telling the truth. If you really look at it and you see on TikTok, everybody's looking the same. They have the same, they look like the Bratz dolls. You ever seen the Bratz dolls? They all have that same look. Same perky lips, same face, same hair, act the same way, have the same mannerisms of talking. It's like a six-pack of Sprite. They all look the same. And so, sir, if you don't begin to do that self-evaluation to see, why do I keep choosing these type of girls, or why do I find myself going through this or dealing with women who disrespect me, you're going to experience it all over again. Maybe you don't mind. Maybe you're that guy that as long as you have the beautiful girl, as long as you got the arm candy, it doesn't matter to you. You just might be that guy. So then this video is not for you. Some guys, they have chosen it. They're like, I don't care how much it hurts me. This is what I want. But for some of you, if you want to understand about self-respect, I'm going to tell you as a female that a woman does not want a weak man. A man who's always saying yes all the time to everything. You don't have to be unreasonable and just say no to everything just to say no. But you have to set some boundaries. If there's something you just cannot do at the time, you just can't do it. If someone is asking something of you that's going to set you back financially, you can say no and you don't have to explain it. You have to build confidence in yourself. And you have to look back in your life and say, why am I picking these types of women? Maybe you had a mom like that. Maybe you were raised by a grandparent like that. Somebody in your life, maybe you had, your dad was bossy. It could be something where you were just broken down. You were not given a voice. Maybe you grew up in an environment where you were always bullied. And so what you're doing is, you did not enjoy that, but the damage is done internally, and you find yourself picking the very thing that destroys you. The same character trait, you're going to pick it up in other women. You're going to pick it up in women over and over again. And because they recognize a weakness. You see, at first, they don't see it. You're going to notice that the way they may treat you now how they treating you like a simp and doing all this stuff to you, they weren't doing that at the beginning, because they had to test you out. They had to feel you out. They had to prime you. They had to, and how does it work? They'll do little things at a time. Do a little thing. Okay, I got away with that. Okay, I'll try that next time. And then they start saying things out of turn, and they start being disrespectful, and then they start demanding things of you, and then you do it, and then they start speaking out of turn about your family. Okay, all right, I got away with talking about his brother, his sister, or I can turn him against his mom, or I can control this, or if I cry, he's going to do what I say. And if you don't have discernment, if you don't gain the confidence in yourself and get to the point where you are comfortable making others uncomfortable, because right now you may be living this life where you're comfortable, you'd rather make yourself uncomfortable to please other people and to please her. She has no problem hurting your feelings. You got to leave. Anytime with your friends, you got to leave. You're on pins and needles because you don't know what she's going to say. She'll make fun of you in front of your boys. She'll say all these different things. You got to leave. Eventually she'll throw drinks in your face. Eventually she'll be slapping you. She'll be hitting you. And why is she becoming more and more empowered doing that? Because she sees you as weak, and she despises weakness. You may think, oh, this is what she wants. In theory, yes, she wants to boss you, but she also hates that you're weak. Why is that? Why is it she wants to boss you, but she hates that you're weak? Because she's got the issues. She's got the problems. She's the one that's going back and forth with wanting to do stuff but resenting it. That's not your problem. She's like a yo-yo. So you have to step back, get the therapy you need. If you have the ability to go and sit down with a counselor, you do that. If you don't, there are plenty of things that's on free these days. Therapists, talk to them. You don't want to become a bitter male. You don't want to be that man that you go join one of those YouTube channels where they're talking about women and they're all this and that, because what you'll do is you become so hateful. She will poison you so much that when someone who's genuine and real comes in your life, you'll destroy her. You won't even recognize her. You'll be suspicious of her because you've been wounded and you don't trust her. I will say, sit down and evaluate what your type has been. Find out what that personality trait they always seem to have. Take a note of the things that you do. You also have to stop falling for those tears. Learn to ignore those tears. I'm telling you. A woman's tears, they are very precious when it's coming from the heart, someone who's genuine. But when it's coming from a manipulative woman, they're deadly. That same woman will cry to the police and say you did something that you didn't do. That same woman will cry to another guy and convince him that you're abusing her and get you killed. So you've got to realize that a lot of times this woman's going to cry when either you're finally standing up strong on your position. She's going to try to cry to throw you off. Or maybe you catch her in a lie. She tries to cry about that. But tears from a woman who is soulless and heartless is simply to deflect. It's to throw you off. It's to disarm you. And you have to learn how to be able to still stand strong on your decision, walk out that door and close it, and don't go back to her anymore. And you do these things for yourself. You're doing these things for your future. A lot of times what you're doing is you're looking at yourself right now. Maybe you're in middle school, maybe you're in high school, and you're thinking this is going to be your life. Everything seems so big right now. Maybe you're in your 20s. This is your first girlfriend or whatever, and it seems so crucial right now. But I guarantee you that there's so much ahead. There's a more mature you, a stronger you that's waiting for who you are right now. The weepy crying guy that can't get, they waiting for you to show up with that baton and pass it on, say, I'm here. You still be sniffling, but guess what? You ran that course and you handed that baton on for the stronger you, who's not crying anymore, who's standing straighter. He's going to run and you're going to make it to the top. So this holiday season, or whatever you want to do, sit down and make these evaluations and explore books and workbooks. Pray, exercise, take care of yourself, and close the door. Close the door. These women come back and forth. These girls come around because they know they can get you to do something. It's the holiday season. She wants to get a mani-pedi. Can you take me? Can you? Ooh, if you have a car, you can forget it. She's always going to be calling you for something. You have to know when to say no. Change your number. And if she keep harassing and doing all that stuff, tell her, if you keep calling me, I'm going to call the police. Yeah, I'm going to file a restraining order. And if you happen to be dating a bobcat, one of these females who are violent and threatening, always keep a recording device on you. Don't argue with her. If she comes to your door, do not answer it. Just call the police. If she's trying to corner you, I'm telling you, never open your door, because she's going to come in, she's going to create a scene, and you're immediately going to be the bad guy when she starts to, like the Tin Man. There are good women out there. They're just very rare, because nowadays the focus is on outer beauty. A lot of these women, they're all flash, but they have no substance. And you have to be smarter than looking at somebody who got a big booty and a smile. Protect yourself. Do the things that you need to do. And when you see those red flags, leave it alone. All that kindness is not going to let her respect you. All that love and all that attention and trying to hear her side, stop it. She's not going to respect you. That's why she's treating you so badly. Save that kindness. Save that gentleness. Save those really good qualities that you have. Save it and put it aside for a woman who truly deserves it. And you're going to know who she is. You're going to know who that person is. You haven't met her yet. But are you going to squander and waste these great qualities on a giraffe? Are you going to waste your time on the hyena that shows up to your family's barbecue and go galloping through the potato salad in her hooves acting up? No, you deserve better. You hear me? You deserve better. You say, I deserve better. And I'm telling you that as a female. I'm telling you this as a girl. I'm telling you this as a woman. I don't believe in the nonsense that, oh, all men are this, all men are that. A lot of times these women, they just been in bad relationship. They've been picking the Dexters and these guys that have used and abused them. And then they come around full of thorn bushes and twigs all in their hair and all in their hearts and emotions. And what they want to do is, it's your job to get them right. It's not your job. It is not your job. It is her job. It is their job to get their acts together. Not come to you bleeded, wounded, and entitled. The same way, I don't know if you ever watched those transformation videos where these women put on makeup and you see like they look totally different. Very rarely, I'm not being funny, but very rarely have I seen someone that's genuinely pretty without the makeup. Okay, I've seen some women, you're like, whoa, you didn't even need all that makeup, you're so pretty. But then most of them, they just look old. They just look, ooh, what the, and they put on all these layers and they just look so different. And I'm telling you, a lot of these women take a lot of time dressing up the outside and doing all these things. But once you go through those layers, my guy, you look down at it, she's a roach. Why do I call somebody a roach? Think of a roach. Roaches are nasty. And you know, I'm not even talking about the cockroaches. They're gross too. But, you know, I'm talking about those little skinny ones. If you see a skinny brown roach, somebody's dirty. Them things will be in crevices and corners and all of that. And it's a sign of dirt. And they hide and they come out and they scoot around and they're doing all these different things. They're just sneaky, trying to come snatch what they can, crawl around on your counter or wherever in your bathroom and scurry and hide. They're just absolutely inconvenient. So if you want better for yourself, you're going to have to respect yourself and you're going to have to do the hard work. And a lot of times it's just easier to give people what they want than to say no. You have to practice saying no. You have to practice saying no more. Get the therapy that you need. Close your eyes and say no. Text and say no. And slam that door and walk away. And if you get an opportunity to get a job somewhere, look for jobs where you can work overseas and just bounce. Move. Don't even tell anybody you're moving. Just leave. Just back out your driveway. Don't even let it turn the engine on. Just coast. Turn the engine on once you go down the road. And they come around looking for you, be like, surprisey. Because some of you have opportunities, don't you? You have opportunities to go to school. You have opportunity to go away. And you're sitting there messing around, ruining your relationships. For who? And don't get me started. Don't let anyone, I'm pregnant. Still leave and take the opportunities that you need. Take the opportunities, because 9 times out of 10, when pregnancy comes up, when you're getting ready to make a decision, she is not. And if you're trying to better yourself, you still need to go and better yourself. Even if she's pregnant. Allegedly. Okay, so you could be in a better position to take care of your child if it is your child, and you better not sign any paperwork until you have had a paternity test. All right, I'm not teaching you how to hate. I just know how a certain demographic of females operate. All right, if you have questions, you can email me. I can be reached at trafina39@gmail.com. or you can comment below. And ladies, if you email me, come correct. Don't email me with no nonsense, because I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have it, okay? These men need to know the truth, because guess what? I have sons, and I wouldn't want any barracuda messing my son over. And I'm sorry, we're living in an era where men are being abused. Men and boys, our brothers and uncles and dads are being abused and being talked down to like they're nothing by bitter women. And we're not going to have that. Nope. Not going to happen. All right, guys. I'm sorry my video went on so long, but I hope it helped you. Replay it, play it, and feel free to ask me any questions you may have. Bye. Peace. Le bleu.